Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do a little review of these Marvy LePlume pigment markers. I picked these up at All At Scraps and showed them in a recent haul video, and then I thought I would just show you guys what I thought about them. So I've got a white one, a silver one, and a gold one. I paid $3.69 US for these each. The regular LePlume markers are about $2.99 US. Obviously that might vary depending on where you're getting them. But through All That Scraps, yeah, it's $2.99 for the regular LePlume, and then the pigment LePlumes are $3.69. So they're made in Japan. I assume they'd be like a solvent base. It doesn't even say. But the one drawback to these is they have a pretty strong smell to them. Like, kind of like, well, just a solvent ink smell. Kind of reminds me, you know, Stays On, Sharpie markers, like that kind of a smell. It's not a horrible smell by any means. It's just, it's pretty strong. So that was the first thing I noticed. The second is you need to shake them before you use them. So you can hear the ball inside. It kind of similar to spray paint, you know. So you shake them up really good. And then if it's your first time using it, you don't have to worry about this, but after you've used it for a while, be careful when you take the lid off. Because if you've depressed the tip, the ink will be coming out, and they've all got fine tips, and to get the ink to flow, you just press down on the tip. I'm not going to do that right at the moment because there's already ink flowing on this white one because I was just playing with it a few minutes ago. But they're highly pigmented. Like, they show up on solid colors, like even on black. You know, it shows up very, very white. So the pigmentation on them is amazing. That right there has me quite happy with them. You're able to get some pretty fine detail. The biggest thing you need to watch with these is a lot of the ink can come out at once if you're not careful. When you depress the tip to get pigment to come out, if you hold it for too long, it'll just start pouring out and it'll pool. So it takes a little practice to kind of get used to it. Before you go to use it, if you find you've got too much ink and whatnot, you can just use the edge of a scrap piece of paper to kind of clean the tip off. And it even says on the marker to clean the nib when you're finished, because you don't want to be putting it back into the lid with a ton of ink, because that's when you go to open it, you're going to splatter ink everywhere. And trust me, it happens. I already did it. So yeah, these take a little bit of fiddling, but all in all, I really like them, mostly just because, especially the white, like it is pure white. Very, very pigmented. So it'll definitely show up, unlike a lot of the other products out there. And then same with the gold and silver. Like, they show up on black cardstock, like no problem whatsoever. Like very, very, very pigmented, solid colors. So I'm really happy with them so far. My biggest thing is just, yeah, paying attention and definitely cleaning it off when you're done with it, scribbling it a bit on a scrap of scrap paper before you actually go to use it on a project so that you don't ruin your projects. So here I've got a finished little card that I made a while ago. So I'm just going to add a few little polka dots to her shirt with it. And when doing this, when dotting with these, make sure you're not pressing like I showed you on the scrap piece of paper. Like, I'm just very lightly touching the tip to the image to get the dots, because if I press down too hard, you'd pool and destroy all the coloring. So, like, quick and easy. It shows up very, very well. Just like that. And so you can add little highlights. So yeah, I'm super pleased with the white one especially. I can see myself getting quite a bit of use out of this now. Mostly just because I have quite a hard time with white gel pens and whatnot, because they dry up, they quit working after a while. You know, so this I'm loving. And after a little bit of practice, you can get really quick and easy results with it. I definitely give it a thumbs up. You know, the smell doesn't really bother me. In fact, right now I don't even notice it at all. I think you just notice it when you first start using them. And then obviously if you use them heavily, you're going to have quite a bit of smell, but for little projects like card making and whatnot. They show up really well. You could do your own writing with these. You just have to also pay attention when you're writing. They're kind of scratchy, the tips of these, just the way the nibs were made for the ink to flow. So you can start out a line, but the longer you write with them, they will kind of sort of dry up if you don't depress the trigger again, which remember, you always want to press it onto something that's scrap paper because it's just gonna keep pooling. So that's about my only drawback with these is you just have to really watch the ink flow. All in all though, I really like these, so I'm very glad I got them. Price point's great, pigmentation's great. I can't comment on how long they'll last as I've only had these for a couple weeks and I've only been using them a little bit here and there. The pros are the price is very low. The pigmentation is great. The flow is great on them. The only cons are basically just needing to keep an eye on the ink flow and the smell if you're really sensitive to that. But again, it's not very strong. It didn't really bother me at all. I just noticed it when I first started using them, but I can't even smell it at all now, so it doesn't bother me in the least. And then yeah, always remembering to wipe off the nibs when you're done using them, which I'm really bad for already. I don't do that, but just taking basically just a scrap piece of cardstock and kind of just twirling them like along the edge of it just to clean off the excess amounts of ink before you cap it. And that's all there is to it. So thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!